All right. I believe that we are live and we are feeding out to the folks out there. I hope so. Let me know how everything is. I'll check in the chat. Once again, I think something is going on with the chat. I don't see as many people out there. So maybe something like what happened yesterday is going on. We have to check on that. But you are joining us live on Utreon so we could shoot us. Just like this 9mm 1911 I'm holding here. We can't do that on YouTube, so we do this live from Utreon. You know, this is just the way that it goes. So if you want to join us live, go to Utreon/Who Moved My Freedom. If you're looking at this later on YouTube, this is the reason why we're not live on YouTube. Join us over here on Utreon. Also, that's the place to see our shooting videos, you know, recent stuff or whatever. But we'll get into that later. All right, my guest is here, like Braden, of Langley Outdoors Academy. He's here.
Hello, sir.
I almost wanted to say Branglin or something like that, you know,
like combine
like
my first
Brangley.
name. Brangley? I'm
Yeah,
down.
Brangley. I don't know if that happens.
No, it's okay. So
Yeah.
so I gotta correct you. It's Braden, sir.
Braden.
Brandon.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm still messing it up.
No,
Messing it up.
It's okay.
Braden.
Legitimately, I'm 36 years old. My name might as well be Brandon.
Yeah.
Honest to God. I mean, Brandon, Brady, Brendan, anything you can imagine.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Langley Outdoors Academy, that works.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me know, shout out to everyone coming in. I see Primitive Hunter out there. Let me know if I'm hearing some scratchiness from time to time from you, but let me know if you guys hear that or whatever. We'll see if that needs to be fixed. That could be something on my end or whatever. All right, listen. All that out of the way here. Oh, wait, I'm missing something. Oh, no.
What are you missing?
I'm missing my button. I don't have my buttons here.
You gotta have the button.
Hold on a second. I don't have the button to turn everything on here. Okay, here we go. Oh, I pressed the wrong button too.
I like that button. That was very chill.
Let's see if I could do this right now.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, so here we go. We are live. Someone said that choppy audio is on Braden's side, so there you go.
Man,
we'll try to see if we can. We tried to fix it before, and it was fine. So that's just one of the things that's going on here tonight with all the other craziness that you can always tell when I scramble in here to get everything going. When I scramble into the van to get everything going, we're gonna start it off like this. We're gonna do jazz hands, Braden. There you go. You got it
like
too, man.
Jazz hands.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Jazz hands. I hope you guys have your. Okay, that looks a little squeezy, but okay.
I don't remember criteria being involved in
that's
this
true.
introduction, sir. So you leave my jazz hands out of this, and you just be the creeper in the van, all right? So,
Right.
hey, just saying.
No judging. This is the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange. This is episode 970.
Woo.
970 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Of course, my guest is Braden of Langley Outdoors Academy.
That is me.
Yes, I also always want to say Langley Outdoors Adventures.
It could be that. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, I do run a political activist news channel around 2A Rights, which is never outdoors. So, I mean, you know, why not? Why not have some fun with it?
Yeah, this is just the way the name went.
It just rolled. I mean, I had it on a sign. I couldn't change it. So.
Oh, okay.
There you
Yeah.
go. See?
Yeah. Once you start it, you got to roll with it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you of bringing the 2A news to the masses.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Twice a day,
Yes.
baby. Once in the morning, once in the evening. Got another show with Tim from Military Arms Channel called
I
Second
heard about
Legacy.
this. Right.
Man, we are rolling because freedom shall not be denied. That's
Yes.
just the way I feel about
And
it.
how did the thing with Mac start?
So that's actually a really cool story. So I had a fanboy moment And that was about 2 years ago because Mac contacted me through YouTube when I was first starting to kind of grow a little bit faster. And I was like, I have no idea who this is. Yeah, okay, fine. There's no way this is who this really is. And I actually clicked on the link of the actual account, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is. One thing one thing led to another, and he kind of started mentoring me a little bit through a few things, and pretty soon had a really good relationship with him over about a year and a half, 2 years. And we were talking on the phone probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and we're like, you know what, there might be some synergy here. Let's explore it. And one thing led to another, and now we are on a 2A analysis activist kind of breakdown show, kind of a talk show podcast format, a little longer form content, but we can dive in deeper, and that longer form provides a great ride home, get you all the arguments you need, all the content you need, and we break it down from honestly 2 different YouTube perspectives, one being on the gun side, one being on the political side. It's a really cool conversation. I really enjoy them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so now we're getting some people complaining about the audio.
Is it mine?
Yeah, it's something on your side. I don't know if your phone or something else is throwing it off, or
I can try to fix this.
Probably interrupting. See, when you turn this way, when you turn that way, that's weird.
Does it go away when I look at the mic?
No, it was still going just now when you were not looking. So, yeah. Is your microphone connected by USB, or is it like XLR?
No, it's USB. It's USB-C. But let me try one thing. I'm gonna get real close to this camera real quick.
Okay, let's see what's happening.
All right, I'm gonna go quiet for a second. Try a different cord because maybe it's a cord issue.
All right. Yeah, there's some kind of signal thing that every time you're talking, it goes over that. So, we'll have to get you to do some mic checks also.
Yep.
This is how it goes, man. Production. I know when you put up your videos, they look so smooth. Well, you wouldn't have this problem in your videos anyway, because you're not talking to another person when you're doing that.
That's true. That's true. How we feel now?
Yeah, that sounds better. What do you guys think out there? Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you guys got to tell us if that's it. Then I know the problem.
I think that is it, because I'm not hearing it. So I'm not hearing that audio thing anymore. You guys let me know what you think out there. That'll take a couple seconds. All right. So you and Mac, you know what? I think you put it very nicely, but in my brain it's like, the old school gun guy. I love Mac. I was looking at his videos way before I started making YouTube videos. I still look at his stuff. I don't think people realize the sense of humor that he has.
Oh man, so the stories I could go through with you just off the cuff, So I can tell you this. So some of the things that Mac, like you said, he has a very dry personality. Sometimes he'll just drop these jokes, and I'll be like, was that a joke with a deadpan on the end, or are you being serious?
I think he always wanted to be a comedian.
When you're getting to know someone.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's great. So one of the other great things about Mac is he goes through this thing. Whatever is kind of going on in the conversation, we're going to talk about and address the exact issue. And sometimes YouTube doesn't exactly like that. And so we have a little bit of a joke, and it's kind of like when we start going off into a conversation that's kind of like over here, one of us will start quacking like a duck, and then it'll center back, and of course we edit that out, but legitimately it's like one of us will start talking and saying something, and it's an outtake procedure because it's not live, it's all pre-recorded, so it gives us a little more leeway to kind of actually frame it to the point we can deliver the point, but we're not actually running afoul of YouTube's sensitivities.
Right,
so to speak. So one of us will just be like, quack, 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 quack.
I think it's a cool thing to do because you kind of get. I'm just trying to tell everyone here knows I'm a fan of Mac, but he's he's a little bit like old guard, and you're
old
new
school.
Guard. Yeah, he's old school.
There's an absolute fusion.
Yeah, I think I'm old school too.
Fusion.
I'm in the old school. I'm probably like the younger of the old school, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah. Because Mac, military arms channel, let's see who else, Iraq veteran, Hickok 45, all of those guys are doing this stuff probably for the longest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The OGs is what I call them. The original guard.
Yeah.
They are the ones who to be honest, they paved the way, and they've gone through things that we haven't gone through, because they were there when YouTube was the Wild Wild West, and then it slowly started getting more and more curtailed. Now, we had the benefit of coming on when the rules were already in place, but they had to adjust to them. And there's obviously different experiences across the board with all these different channels, but it's really cool, to your point, to be able to have a dialogue and a two-way conversation around something we're both so passionate about, the 2A, and passing on the blessings that were handed down to us, the next generation. But to have it from a original gun tuber and then a newer guard, to your point, I'm one of the newer channels that's political activism, political news, and political advocacy. It's a really cool fusion of the two experiences, and it really does bring out an interesting conversation every time. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the cool differences between you and Guns and Gadgets, Jared, right? You guys both of you guys are doing really good stuff out there, and I would say Jared is a little bit more of the old school as well. You know, he's probably closer to like you know what? I know, I'm guessing he's not gonna get mad. He knows he's old school. Come on.
You got to say, because I didn't say. See, what I'm going to say. Watch this, Hank. This is
old.
That new school
He's
verbiage.
old.
You ready for this?
Okay.
This is that new school. He is tenured, and he fulfills a really wonderful mentor role for those of us who have come along behind him.
Seasoned.
and I can say that to him too, because he's one of my closest friends, and he really has mentored me a lot through this whole process.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's fair. We can go with mentor. I think that's nice.
Oh,
right?
seasoned. Can we say seasoned? Yeah.
We can say seasoned. He's got the salt and pepper in his beer. Yeah. That counts.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I think, you know, the way that this whole thing is growing, it's really interesting to see it, you know. I'm
absolutely.
It. Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, like, so the interesting part is, and what you just said was so spot on, and it's not over. It's not done. Like you had channels like mine, Langley Outdoors Academy, and then you had Arms Scholar come in right behind Jared, and then about a year later, we had more channels coming up right behind us. And there's a whole hierarchy and an ecosystem that's kind of been developed naturally. It's actually really cool to see, because, I mean, it's so fascinating when you enter in transitionary points in your career or your life, and you don't even realize you're in them. But when channels that are coming behind you and say, "Hey, I like your stuff. Can I pick your brain on stuff?" And you're like, "Oh, he must be talking to Jared. Wait, where's Jared? Wait, he's not talking to me, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, he's talking to me. That's kind of crazy." But it's a great ecosystem. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Yeah, we should give the flowers to Arms Scholar as well. There's lots of
absolutely.
And you know, in the gun world, let's say we're talking about YouTube or we're talking about social media across the board. To me, YouTube's the biggest one, right?
Oh yes, by far.
Asper Warrior says breaking. Jared, aka Guns and Gadgets, eats cheaper at Denny's, says Hank Strange. I mean, he is retired. He is retired now.
I mean,
he's old enough to retire, dude.
Technically, he could retire. So
I think he was a cop since he was like what, probably 19 or something like that. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, that was his career.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know,
and
but
we're
it's
all
cool.
Friends, by the way. So we can
we are. We hang out or whatever. He's been on here. I'll get him to come back on here, and we'll probably have this conversation again. Yeah.
No, and then you can make fun of me, because quite literally, every time that I see he and Anthony, one of the two of them will say, and I quote, "Welcome back, brothers and sisters," and they'll do it in an exaggerated voice, because that's my intro. And one of them will do it within the first 5 minutes. And they always mess with each other.
Is that your thing? The deep voice?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah. The big joke is like the narration voice kind of thing, and that's when we're walking through events and stuff. More people will turn around and say, "Wait a minute, I recognize that voice," rather than the face. So I guess I mean, I don't know what they're saying. I think my face looks great, but apparently my voice is the shining star. I don't know.
You know, I mean, You're a very intelligent man, despite the face, I guess.
despite the look and the fact that I'm from Georgia.
Yeah.
So, you know,
and despite the fact, and I know you were talking about it on your video today. I don't know what happened to you that you got this sunburn that you have.
I got a fight with the sun, and
where were you, man? What were you getting up to?
So I actually went down to Florida.
Okay.
You know, a little house recon potential, maybe. See what happens.
Oh,
maybe
oh.
a relocation.
Oh wait, hold on a second. We could get Braden in Florida? No.
Yeah, you might get a little bit more freedom. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, so I walked
like
around and I was
idea.
like, no, it's okay. I've got my sunscreen on. I mean, I've got my sunglasses on, and I've got my beard. And my face goes, yeah, what about me? And I was like, nope, don't care about you, clearly. So as you can see, got some lovely raccoon eyes going.
Did you have a hat on at all?
I did. I had a hat on. And so everything from here up is solid, and everything from here down is not. So, you know what? It'd be like that sometimes, Hank.
Yeah. Do you burn easy?
Like yes, Hank. Are you looking at me? Come on now. The contrast.
Oh, boy.
The contrast is actually worse because I don't go out a lot, as you can see, and this is my this is the original, and this is I got left in the oven too long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you got to use that. You know, everybody's got to use the suntan, man. You got to use the spray stuff or something.
So,
even me in Florida. Well, I don't use it. I'll be honest, I don't use it.
Come on. No, I goofed. No, I legitimately. So my wife and I said, because we had the kids there too. My wife and I said, no, it'll be fine. It's middle of February. We're good. We're only gonna be out there for a little while. Yeah, we all got sunburned. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, all of us did.
Don't let the temperature fool you, man. The sun in Florida is different.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's a lot meaner.
This is a different sun than from what you see anywhere else in America or on the planet. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't believe me, you could tell the cars that are cheaply painted where it's like one coat of paint that goes on there. You could tell those real easy in Florida, man. They
just go right through.
Yeah, they just burn right through. Like Honda. Honda has terrible paint jobs, man. And you could see people's cars in Florida like washed out.
Gotcha. That's because of that?
Yeah. Also, for example, so I don't know how long car batteries, I'm trying to remember, like when I was in New York, New Jersey, etc., car batteries used to last a little bit longer, like let's say maybe 2 years or something like that. A car battery can last longer. Yeah, longer than that up north. Here in Florida, you're lucky if your battery lasts a year.
Oh, really? Just the heat just eats it up?
Just the sun, man, the radiation.
Well, I can attest to that, as your viewers can as well. It's really there.
Yeah,
it's great. No, I love the sunglass line.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for you, Hank. This is how much I love you. I get on your show looking like a walking sunscreen ad.
Yeah. Or can I say maybe you imbibed too many beverages?
No, I didn't. This was a very purpose-built trip. I actually did not have a single imbibement. That's not a word, but it should be.
That's what Warrior says. So you're saying that color wasn't your pre-show whiskey?
No.
He's been doing this pre-show whiskey the whole day then. Because I saw your video earlier today, and this is the same. Yeah, he would not be conscious.
If you guys want to watch something fun, right? If you guys want to watch something fun, go back my last 3 videos because you can see the progression of my sunburn. It goes from like, wow, he's standing against a white wall, I can't see him, to what's wrong with his face, to oh my goodness, he got roasted, and now we're slowly phasing out. But I like the blending effect I'm going for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it me or is the static back? What is the deal with the static, man? Somebody.
Are you hearing it again?
Yeah, someone, the CIA or someone is monitoring us here, man.
That's probably true because my last name is Langley.
Yeah, they're trying to, they're probably monitoring. It's weird. It was fine, and now it's back. I don't know if the folks out there hear it or not. We should get a look at your studio here, man. I wish I had a different camera so I could see. That's something people would probably like to see in the videos, see more. I know you switch cameras and stuff like that in the videos. Yeah. Because sometimes, I'm looking right now, let me see, I'm going to put you full screen in the back. Yeah, I'm looking for your plaque. I don't see it right now.
Oh, because I removed that thing out of protest for the last little shenanigans we just Yeah.
Okay.
That one didn't make it. Nope, that one's over there in a box.
Oh, boy.
That was my YouTube version of One for My Homies.
Oh, really?
So that was, yep.
Did you talk about
Like,
that in a video? Did I miss that video where
I
you
did.
said, "Oh, I'm
No,
taking"?
I
Oh,
I did a
okay.
short. I did a
Oh,
short, and I was like,
okay.
this is no longer on my wall. And I
Yeah.
made a very, very, very poignant point about it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Asper Warrior says it sounds like a 3 millimeter microphone jack is slightly loose.
Well, I don't have a 3 millimeter.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. That's weird. It went away and then it came back. I'm not sure. Um, that's just weird how that static is coming on and off.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, go ahead and talk. I'll let you talk for a sec.
Well, I'm on the Hank Strange podcast with my narration voice. We're testing the speakers.
Yeah, it's still there a little bit. I don't know what that
Well,
is.
Hank,
I don't know what that is.
I don't know
man.
what that
Yeah,
is either.
yeah,
I've changed chords.
Yeah,
Got the interwebs.
yeah.
We're good there.
We'll
Camera over
we'll
there.
have to suffer through. I don't see anyone complaining about it right now. I don't think no, it's not me. So we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Oh, sorry, brah.
Yeah,
Just over here having a great time with my whiskey sunburn.
yeah. Mike
Can't
says
plug things in right.
Mike says maybe the gain is tapping out somehow. The FBI is monitoring. No, there's something else happening there on your side. Do you have a board or something? All that's going into?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your gain might be high. That's true. You might have to dial the gain off a little. Yeah, see there, when you tap it, I hear a little bit of static.
All right, that's weird.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know, man.
yeah. I don't know. We'll you know, Primitive Hunter 18 says unplug the toaster. Yeah, see, I would get that. I would get that particular sound a lot of times when I was using wireless microphones, and I don't know. You have something in your ear. It could be that thing that you have.
You
in
think
your
that's
ear.
what's interfering? Well, here,
It
let's
could-
try that. That actually
Yeah,
might be it.
it
Hold on
could
a
be
second.
that. Yeah. Oh, you go ahead. Oh, now you got no audio. Oh, so that microphone was what was on because now I can't hear you at all.
Yeah,
So
so
when-
now it's on.
Yeah.
So what may have been happening was the interference from the Bluetooth onto the mic.
Yeah.
Is it
And I
you're
can
not
even hear-
coming through?
Yeah, I can hear myself later over there at you, like a delay. On a delay, I can hear my
Yeah, that's because the
audio a little
mic
bit.
was
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the speakers coming through on that. Like
Yeah.
your speakers are coming through here.
Yeah. We're taking a quick break here. We'll be right back. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Yeah, so Primitive Hunter says it could be RFI, which I think is radio frequency interference.
It's possible.
Something like that. Yeah, that's what I would get if I was doing some kind of thing using wireless microphones, and the frequency they were transmitting on were too close for some reason.
Right,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah, and it kind of went away now. I'm not hearing it when you talk now, and I'm not hearing.
It's
any
possible
echo.
it was the other. Yeah, the echo I killed because the speaker was coming through, and I took care of that.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
if it's not there anymore, we should be good. It might have been that other headphone.
yeah.
You still got that squeaky squeak?
No, I think it sounds a lot better now. You know, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, but Asper Warrior says it could be a Chinese weather balloon. Is that still a joke? Is that it? You know, is there a new thing? I don't know. I don't think we found any balloons lately, right? I don't think there's any. They've shot down some like people's personal weather balloons, you know, or hobbyist weather balloons, but I don't think there's been any other like Chinese spy balloons, to my knowledge. I haven't seen any of that in the news. Are you talking? Brandon? Braden? Hopefully he didn't hear me say Brandon again. He didn't hear that. Oh, okay. I can see him. I could lip read. He said, "Oh yeah, I heard you say that."
Oh, I saw you. Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
good.
Yeah.
That should have killed the problem. I think I figured it out.
Okay, dude. There's too many. There's too many Brandons in the gun world.
I know, but that's why
Some
I don't
people
have
have-
Brandon. That's how many.
I know
Brandons
you're
are
braided.
there?
I know,
What?
but it's too close.
Yeah,
too
heck
close.
with them. They're greedy with their.
Do you know how many gun guys are dyslexic like me? Oh, probably like at least 75% of the gun guys.
I mean, either. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you were just about to argue that, and then you were like, "Oh no, wait a second."
That's
Most
exactly
of the-
what I was about to do. I was about to be like,
Most of the gun
"Eh,
guys I know. Mm.
Yep, no, 100%. And you know what I did internally? I was like, quack, 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 quack. I was like, nope, not today,
Yeah.
Satan.
No, whenever you're on, I was telling Lola, I was like, "Yeah, me and Braden are gonna have no problem having a conversation. The biggest
no.
problem is the freaking static."
100%. But it's gone,
is-
right?
Yeah, it is gone. It is gone. So what's here? Let's go into this. What's the big stuff? I saw your show, the one I saw today. I guess that was this morning's one. Yep. You were talking about what's the name of this actor? Alec Baldwin. Yeah, the whole Baldwin situation. And I like how you broke it down. One of the things I like about you is how you break things down and like, you know, put these two maybe like not everyone sees these two thoughts, let's say, these two things happening at the same time. Not everyone sees that and sees the correlation between those two things. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
yeah. What you were talking about with them reducing the charges for him and for Anna Gutierrez Reed, that was that's part of that. That was interesting, right? Because you said that's relative to what's going on with the braces. You want to explain that
100%.
to folks?
Oh, 100%, absolutely. So just some kind of background on this, and this is where this story has a little bit of everything. It has a little bit of irony, a little bit of sadness. It has a little bit of overreach from the ATF. It's got everything. So Alec Baldwin, first dose of irony, big anti-gun person, completely anti-gun, activist against guns
in a massive way. Rabid
anti-gun, right? And he gets caught up in honestly a tragic accident. That's exactly what it is. I mean, like, you're not going to go anywhere else and say it's anything different. It was a tragic accident, what occurred.
Yeah.
Now, the irony of ironies is when he's arrested and when he's going under the trials and he's under the charges, all of a sudden, the defense becomes, well, you can't charge me with that because that's unconstitutional. Skirt. Hold on a sec. Welcome to the party, Alec.
Yeah.
So
what it is extra. What was it called? Not extra charges, but some kind of heightened charge. What was it?
Yeah, no, it was enhanced charges.
Enhanced. And this is all. That's all liberal, progressive, gun grabber talk. That enhanced gun charges, right?
It's got to be great. So what happened on this case, and this is where it gets interesting. So they charged him with a crime that would be a 5-year prison sentence. Okay, so the lawyers for Baldwin come out and say, well, no, you can't charge him for that because it was not a law at the time of the crime. So you're retroactively impacting somebody with a law that was not a crime at the time. So you can't do that. That's unconstitutional. I'm sure every single one of your viewers is going, well, there's an interesting correlation. What did we just go through? That sounds so much like that. Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly.
The ATF's retroactivity and enforcement of the pistol brace rule. So, and me and Tim actually talked about this on our show today. It'll come out soon enough. I don't know exactly what day, either today or tomorrow. But the big point that we're hitting on is, so it's unconstitutional when it's going against you. But when it's against everybody else, it's perfectly fine. It's common sense gun safety legislation. You know, weapons of war have no place on the streets. All the buzzwords, all the topics. But the second that it becomes an actual threat to something that's going on with you, it becomes, well, it's unconstitutional. You can't retroactively affect people like that. ATF pistol brace anyone. Because around, I don't know, 40 million of these things have been sold. And that would put how many millions of people into felon status instantly based off of an interpretation of an existing rule that was passed in 1934 before ARs, before pistol braces, before anything. That seems to be a little bit of a crossover there, because if you're charging against the ATF, which a lot of lawsuits are going through the courts right now, two big ones, one in Texas with Ken Paxton, and he's going after him in the actual courts in Texas. And then you've got another one with 25 state AGs that are going against them in North Dakota. They've got a lot of pressure coming their way. Half the states. You cannot think that this little instance, tiny little thing in New Mexico with Alec Baldwin, is not going to at least pique some interest around retroactivity and enforcing laws that were not laws at the time.
Yeah, I think
there's no way.
Yeah, I think that correlation that you made is big, and I know, like, especially from having you on, and I was talking about a bunch of different stuff, I know how your brain works and how you caught that, but it's a big one. I think not everyone necessarily is thinking about it yet. And if you go back like 10 years, like we were talking about the old school and everything, if you go back 10 years, when they did this kind of crap, they at least had what they call grandfathering, right?
Yep.
So when they did this, they would go, okay, we're going to grandfather. I don't know how the hell they would do it. It's like, how do you grandfather in magazines? We're going through that in some places,
dude.
Right now,
it hurts. So like, this is what I focus on my channel a lot. So there's a big irony, and anybody watching this, anybody, doesn't matter. You guys can all use this. Here, royalty free. You cannot in one breath, from a gun control perspective, say that ARs or assault weapons or military style assault weapons or military weapons or weapons of war, whatever you want to brand them with the flavor of the week is, you can't say they are the single cause of anything wrong in the world, but during a ban but you can still keep all the ones that exist. It's one or the other. It's either you're just saying this because you want to ban ARs so you can say you banned assault weapons, but at the same time, written in the exact same language, all of a sudden you can keep all the assault weapons. But I thought all the assault weapons were the problem. And it's this big shell game that they play where it's, well, we can't ban things because that would be confiscation, and confiscation is easily ruled unconstitutional through either the takings clause or the interstate commerce clause. There's lots of different constitutional problems with that. So we can't really take everything, but since ARs are the problem and bane of all existence, we can definitely ban the future ones. But what about the ones that are there? Well, they aren't the bad ones. It's the ones in the future. What?
It's a crazy... There's so many guns in America right now. But this is why that's eventually where all these guys want to go. And this is the irony of Alec Baldwin and a lot of people of his ilk, especially in Hollywood. This is what they're up to. And the irony of it all is that all these guys want to make money off of guns, right?
100%.
They're like, if they started making... Yeah, if they started making movies without that, who would watch it?
Nobody.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when Alec Baldwin, back maybe in the 80s, was hot stuff or whatever. But now he's older, he's got to do the cowboy kind of stuff. And a lot of these things have to have guns involved in them for anyone to look at it.
Correct.
So
it's almost like it's part of our culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
It's almost like it's ingrained in us.
It's almost like it's part of us, and they're trying to excise it from us, and it's not working. Because the more that they try to excise it from us, the more it turns a hydra, and we buy 18 million more. Yes. I mean, legitimately, if you guys look, all the things that are going on out there right now, you've got people who have traditionally not bought firearms be the largest demographics of firearm purchasers in a 2-year span. You had women and minorities who bought more guns than they've ever bought before as first-time buyers. Then you've got now the newest report, the newest thing that the media is starting to hit on is, oh my gosh, the new group that guns have never taken a part of, Asian Americans adopted the Second Amendment. And I'm like,
I've seen this.
Yes, because it's an American right. Stop trying to divide everybody by their petty differences and just stop. But every time that they do it, all that happens is it goes into a different area and more people adopt and reinforce the Second Amendment rights because it is strong in this country. It's the 6 states that try to tell you it's not strong are silly.
Yeah, so Primitive Hunter 18 says it's like the movie Minority Report. Yeah,
parts of it.
Yeah, pre-crime. I think that it's just it's really interesting what's happening here, right? This enhanced stuff is things that they want to put on to go after people. Typically when we see crimes happening in the country, the people who don't care, right? The folks who don't care about laws that commit crimes. How many of them even get charged with the gun crimes when they do something wrong?
Are you talking about the Michigan State University criminal? Because
there's a whole bunch of them, man. Who actually
just
gets
saying.
charged with the gun crimes out there, right?
Well,
Because there's
but
all
see,
this
that's-
enhanced stuff, but when those guys do things, they don't hit. Who are the enhanced stuff for? If you think about it, the enhanced
It's an option.
stuff. The enhanced stuff is an option for liberal prosecutors to use against
Yep.
people like us.
100%. It's what it is. It's a screw that's in place, and you can turn it if you want to, and you can ignore it if you don't.
And you
That's
can turn it
exactly
off.
what it is.
Yes, and that's what the prosecutors here decided to do when his lawyers put pressure, right,
Yep.
on them.
100%.
That they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to, we don't. There was something in the statement that they made, like kind of a jab.
Yep.
They're
We
like,
don't want to increase the billable hours
yes, the billable hours. Yeah.
of big city attorneys, because all of a sudden big city attorneys are evil. Weird.
Yes.
When they're suing when they're suing against your gun rights, they're perfectly fine. They're crusaders.
Yeah, absolutely. It's man, the whole story, this whole thing with Alec Baldwin is really weird, and there's a whole bunch of different connections in there, believe it or not. So I don't know if you've, so for example, Anna Gutierrez Reed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
armorer.
She was the armorer on that set. Now, I don't know this guy personally, but he's actually a friend of someone I do a lot of videos with, Sam Andrews, that makes the leather holsters. Thel Reed. You ever heard of Thel Reed?
The name I've heard before,
Yeah.
but I couldn't place it.
So Thel Reed, if you look up, if anyone looks it up, let me see. I'll pull it up here on my phone so you guys can see. So this is now it's weird. You search Thel Reed and you see Anna Gutierrez Reed comes up, but Thel Reed, he's a stuntman, exhibition shooter, armorer, all that kind of stuff, movie consultant. So he's a consultant and he's a gun guy for a long time. He's like, he knows how to shoot really fast and all that kind of stuff. You guys can look him up on Wikipedia if you don't know who he is. Really cool guy, pro gun guy, all that kind of stuff. And Anna Gutierrez Reed is related to him, I think, like a stepdaughter. So that's how she got into the business, because he's been in the business for a long time. And that's how, like, my friend Sam Andrews gets a lot of, he makes leather holsters. He's been doing that for 40 years, and his leather holsters are in a lot of these cowboy movies.
Oh, cool. I didn't know.
Yeah. So there's always been this kind of like connection there, and I've always been interested, like first of all, I've always been interested in filmmaking, right? That's why I'm here doing stuff on YouTube. And then as a gun guy now, the gun guy side of filmmaking, the armorer side has always been interesting to me as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I wish I could. Well, let me rephrase that. I find it interesting, that part of that business, and I would be intrigued to do it.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
because-
dream job. You could say it. It would be a dream job
mean,
to be like on a movie set and be the armorer, and you would.
I think it'd be really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm that part of it would be cool. I think it's a couple of things would be really cool. One, I would insist on building everything myself, because if you're going to make a cool AR, you got to build it yourself. Let's just face it. And then I also would really enjoy walking around set on a bunch of lefties holding an AR in my hand and go, "It's okay, I'm the armorer. I'm the armorer. It's all right."
Yeah. But that's always been like an interesting side of it, and I've never actually had a chance to meet Thel Reed, but he's a really fast shooter. There's videos, if anyone looks this up on YouTube, there's videos of him where he's, like you see in a cowboy movie, that, the fast shooters, so like the gun's actually in the holster and you draw and shoot, and he will do that and you didn't even realize that he drew, right? Or he'll shoot maybe 2-3 rounds and you thought you just shot one time,
Right.
So it's always been fascinating, that whole thing. I've had someone from Independent Studio Services on here, who that's the biggest armorer in Hollywood. I've always been interested in that whole thing.
Yeah,
And then
it's intriguing.
yeah, it is intriguing. And then tragically to see this all flip like this, and then also as gun guys, like when we shoot a lot, shoot a lot in videos, and we're using live ammo.
Yep.
And things unfortunately go wrong sometimes, but we do things to mitigate all of that, because
Yes.
we're using live ammo. Yeah.
That's exactly the point. So here's the question that I had in this entire thing. I'm not picking anything apart. Again, this is a tragedy piece, just talking about the armorer perspective. There are so many safeguards in normal range safety. How someone who is familiar with firearms, qualified to do this, how did live ammunition even get near a prop gun? Because in the gun world, you don't put rounds inside anything if you don't want it to go boom. You know, like the safety rules that we have across the board, every gun is always loaded, don't point anything you don't want to destroy, always pointing down range and be accountable for all your rounds. Well, okay, every one of us is taught that from a very early age, and if you aren't early age, then as soon as you get in, that's kind of like the 101, right? I just don't understand how that even that position was even presented. I just, that kind of weirds me out.
You know what? I don't know. And I think that because we're so, I don't know what's the best word to say for it, but we're just crazy about, we realize that we have live ammo. So that's a scary thing, right? So we're extra careful. I think things happen. No matter what you do, if you do something often enough, accidents are going to happen. But
well, I mean, look at Kentucky ballistics.
Yes, unfortunately, right? So, but the rules we're following mitigate that, right? So we go through all these things that we try to mitigate that stuff happening. And I know, like, I make a lot of videos shooting guns, live ammo. It's myself and other people I care about on the set or on the range when we're doing that. Yeah, and we're really, really careful about it. And so we don't want these things to happen. And I'm sure in our cases we're catching enhanced charges. You know.
Enhanced charges.
Yeah, but I think there is so amongst us there is that culture because we realize 100%. What we're doing, and sometimes things are going crazy and we all see that, and either we stop, like I've been places where people are doing crazy stuff and I'm like, guess what, I'm leaving.
We out.
I'm out of here. So we do all 100%. Of that stuff, but on this set it seems like the entirety of the movie, and this is where Alec Baldwin is responsible as a producer, not just the guy, he's the most responsible because he had the gun in his hand, he pulled the trigger, this is why someone's dead, but he's also the producer. He's also the producer of this movie, though. So as this big anti-gun guy, where was he on the set of this movie, you know, staying on top of what was going on, because these guys were mixing blanks with live ammo. That should never ever happen because that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, 100%, and it makes no sense at all. And you know, if people genuinely had a full understanding and the safety rules were actually taught to everybody, not just from the left, like from the right side of the aisle, maybe if the left didn't look at it and go, ooh, bad, evil, don't even learn about it, I don't even want you to know that exists. Well, you're negating a safety piece that you really need to know.
Yeah.
And I think that sets the table for very terrible things to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We got like 10 seconds or something here before it switches over to the next thing, and we're going to take a break. But I really do want to talk about this a little bit more, and then we'll jump on to something else. So let's take this break here, and we'll be right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Yeah, so we've got a comment here. Let me see. This is from Night Train. He says, well, given the fact that the crew was disgruntled on that Rust movie set, walked off, and who knows, someone might have rigged that gun with a live round. Man, I hope not.
Well, see, and that's the where you're getting into there is
conjecture.
No one was here. It's pure conjecture. Yeah. Right. And I'm not saying pro con. I mean, honestly, there's no way that anyone can truly know what really happened except the people who were on that set. And one thing that I think, and this is an important piece that really ties it back to our community. I'm still going to be upset that someone's rights are being infringed around the Second Amendment, even if they aren't a pro-gun advocate, even if they are anti-gun. I'm still going to say the principle exists and remains the same. You are still infringing upon that person's gun rights. The reason that I do all the videos that I do, it's not because the people who own guns' rights are being infringed. It's because all Americans are being infringed. Now, whether you adopt Second Amendment or you don't, that's your choice. But at the same time, these people are taking their rights from everyone. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. While terrible things happen, while there's still ironies, while it's, of course, a terrible situation, at the same time, it is unconstitutional what they tried to do to him.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And,
100%.
and even if Gavin Newsom, who, Lord above, even if Gavin Newsom got caught up in an unconstitutional ploy, would there be a little part of me that would be kind of like, I still don't like you, but I got to defend their rights.
Absolutely.
It's bigger than people, and honestly.
I agree with that. And I think that the idea of what happened on that movie, I think it's more of a gun safety thing. And and I think what it comes down to is something I always tell folks, right? So like I live here in Florida. There's a lot of swimming pools, lots of bodies of water here in Florida. If you live here or anywhere where there's a lot of bodies of water or swimming pools or whatever, you want your kids to learn how to swim. Really, really important, because you can't keep your eyes on them all the time. They're going to get around some kind of water, and you want to give them the best chance to survive. You could be the best swimmer in the world and still drown, but you want to give them the best chance to survive. That is them learning about the water and how to swim in it. Well, that's the same thing with guns. So even if you don't like guns, you need to learn about guns and how they work in order to practice any kind of safety when it comes to guns. And that means 100%. Everyone. And the reason why I was talking about Ana Gutierrez-Reed, regardless of what we think about her, I see there's a lot of stuff that, and it's probably true, right? She's real liberal, all that kind of stuff. But she grew up with a gun guy, and then somehow became the armorer on this set, and she probably had the most training and understanding on that set of what was going on, but she can't do that job alone, especially when you're talking a low budget set. There was a lot of craziness going on, as we mentioned here. She can't keep on top of that alone, and I don't really understand how she's even part of the charges if she wasn't even in the room when it happened.
I think what you're dealing with there is, honestly,
that's who it gets pinned on in the whole thing.
But there's this propensity, because New Mexico is left leaning right now on gun rights. They are. They're putting through safe storage laws, magazine bans. They are left leaning right now currently. So there's this propensity for people to assign, well, we've got to have a law against that. It'll prevent it in the future. It's a gun control perspective that people genuinely say, well, if there's a law against it, we've got to do something. And even though those somethings account to nothing, well, at least we did something. It's about the people who are still there making laws. It's not about what happened. It's not really truly about preventing anything. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. They're not analyzing what happened. So, for example, this is from what I've heard or gathered from talking to different people, reading stuff about it. There was actually someone else who was there that checked that gun and handed it off to him, right? So now Alec Baldwin. So you got Alec, that person checked that thing. It wasn't her, by the way. Then you have Alec Baldwin in possession of it, right? So the person in possession of that thing should be aware of what they're in possession of.
Oh, 100%. It's
and double checking.
It's the old, yes, dude. It's the military adage. Yes, that's exactly right. Two is one is none. You have to be able to take self-responsibility, and you can't just go, well, they handed it to me, they told me it was clear, so then whatever happens. That's not an excuse.
So now think about the cinematographer, right, or the director who are now in front of that gun. They also should be aware, like everyone involved in this whole but if people really understood how, this is what I'm trying to say, if people really understood how guns work, that's how this whole thing would go. So that's what I'm wondering here. But the thing is, I think it falls on the person who's technically the armorer, because of these same reasons, like, oh, well, someone's got to take responsibility for what happened here. Well, this whole story, and even your story, is about them now downgrading this to manslaughter, right? So now they can't even you can't do 5 years for what happened. It's manslaughter. It's an accident. And we're going to try to see who we hold responsible. So think about this for a second. You go to a friend's house. You're drinking at your friend's house. He provides you alcohol. You get in your car. You drive your car. You get into an accident and you kill someone. Who's responsible? And in some states, they're going to go back to your friend, right? It's going to be manslaughter or whatever. But you're going to, I was drinking with my friend. He let me drink and then get in this car. Right. No, you got in the car.
Correct. Well, but that goes back. Personal responsibility is what's consistently under attack. Yeah. So I mean, if we dive truly deep into this, Hank, we gonna get into some weeds.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy.
Rocks. Yeah. Oh man, there's gonna be some really disgusting stuff when people start lifting up these rocks, because what you're diving into now is, well, now the state has not provided that safety of which they've guaranteed and promised. So you're either going to take more rights and impose more control, which will give you the illusion of safety, or the state can't truly do that. But if the state can't truly do that, that means it's responsibility driven. The state can't have it be responsibility driven, because then that's not them. Yeah. You're getting into a realm now where it's like, well, wait, is it a personal responsibility or is it state? And the state, whether you're talking about a state boundary in the United States or you're talking about a government state, right? The state has a promise they have to fulfill, but the only way they can fulfill that promise is if you submit your freedom for their control. And when they break their promise, which happens every single time, they take more of your freedom and promise more control, again, which is never delivered. Look at the last the 20th century, 100 million people dead at the hands of their own government. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
It's tough to do. And to bridge that even to another subject that I saw today on the news, and I don't know if you covered this, but, California right now is facing that judge that's probably going to kick out the assault weapons ban.
Oh, right? 100%. Benitez, yep. 100%. Yeah. It's coming. Yeah. They're like sitting in the corner biting their nails like corn cobs.
They know it's going to happen. Okay. Yep. Now, that's not going to immediately solve anything, because obviously Gavin Newsom even knows it's going to happen. And they're preparing like, okay, well, we're going to fight it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to come up with stuff. But it goes back to what you're saying, like, what's the real solution to this, though? Obviously, to me, the real solution is we have these rights. These are inalienable, right? So we could spend all the time we want in the world fighting. We have the right to defend ourselves. So no matter what, that's going to remain. So what's the best?
Oh, I'm so sorry. The part that's the craziest part about this is it's like that old adage. First they came for this group, but it wasn't me. Then they came for the next group, but it wasn't me. Then they came for the next one, and all of a sudden no one was left to defend me. So they started out with gun control laws. Think this through from a standpoint of just history. They started out with AR bans. They started with mag bans. They started out with different background checks. They started out with state-level background checks. They go down these roads, and everything that they add does not do what's advertised. So they take even more. But the big irony of the entire thing is, if you truly get down to where it started and where it's going now, what are they going after mainstay across the United States? They're going after red flag laws. Well, red flag laws are no longer infringing only on the Second Amendment. Red flag laws are now going after due process rights. Because now you don't have the right to face your accuser anymore, because after all, it's common sense gun safety. You don't have the right to say, hey, what are you saying about me? Can I face the charges?
Right. Nope. Yeah, forget about due process.
Nope. You don't have the due process because this is about the Second Amendment rights.
Yeah. As Trump said, even.
Yep. Take the guns and then worry about due process later. Yeah. That is the problem. Yeah. And that's where you once you get this tentacle in, it just takes over and spreads. And that's why you got to fight so hard on these things, is because due process, you're getting into the core tenets of jurisprudence now. And it's crazy.
Yeah. And ultimately, I know no one's on that side is going to listen to this. The ultimate solution is people need to come to an understanding about guns. They exist. We need to come to an understanding about guns, and also people who do bad things, right? Yep. We're always going to have crazy, broken people who want to do bad things and not just hurt themselves, but go hurt a whole bunch of other people. And the 100%. Only way to react to that is people there that are able to meet them with an equal or greater force. More than likely 100%. A greater force.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, that's
it. No, that's 100%. That's 100% correct. Because if And this is one of the things I'm extremely bullish on freedom. Like I genuinely, I see where we're going, and we are winning. And a lot of times people will say, no, that's kind of hopium. They're just going to take our guns. They're going to take our rights. But if you look at on a 100-year scale, it took them 100 years to get to the point that we're at right now. It's taken us around 15 to start curtailing it back, starting with the Heller decision, now building on that with the Bruen decision. We are making headway, significant headway, because the big irony in all gun control is the only way that gun control is defeated in the long run is by gun control prospering enough to where it's a big enough problem. So the Supreme Court isn't going to step into one state stepping out of line. However, they will step into about 15 states stepping out of line.
Right.
So, like, for example, every state and their brother is passing assault weapons bans right now. Well, the more that you do that, the more profile you get on assault weapons bans, and the quicker the SCOTUS picks that up. And now where you at?
Yeah.
The more red flag laws that you do, same process.
Yeah. The only hope they have is to pack the court.
Correct.
After that,
but they're not doing it. And so that's the big irony is, in order to destroy gun control, it has to get to a point where it's threatening constitutional rights. Now, of course, from our perspectives, it does that immediately. But from the Supreme Court's opinion, they have to say, no, this is affecting 15 states, which is around 57, 89 million people, something like that. We need to look at this. And that's where you got with Bruen, and that's where we're going further. And the big irony is it's got to prosper before it dies.
I agree. That's a good point. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way everything is. What is it? The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
And they're squeaking, baby.
Yeah.
Woo, they're squeaking.
Yeah. And also, as you were saying, right, there's a lot of people in America. So when these things happen, the liberal media, for example, folks who want to take guns away, they're like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to say why we should have more laws, more gun control, etc., etc. But, the regular people, when you talk to the regular people, those people, when they see this stuff happening, say, this is exactly why we got to have guns.
100%.
This is what is happening with a big Asian population in America, for example, now, getting all up on guns. Because now they're starting to see, like, oh, yeah, when this comes to my doorstep, and it might come to my doorstep, and it's going to be someone who looks just like me.
Right.
That's what people like myself, right? Like, I know, hey, more than likely when this comes to my doorstep, it's going to be a dude that looks like me.
Well, but the reason for that, I mean, if you look at the statistics, FBI, CIA, not CIA. Whoops, never mind. FBI, DOJ, ATF. Like, if you look at those statistics, the crime that occurs and the crime that they're focusing on, like homicides, that's typically exactly what you're saying. It's people that look like you. You're typically, and this is not a rule, but typically you're not going into different environments and targeting others that are not like you. More likely than not, they're going to look a lot like you. Yeah. And that's not what it's about. It's not about who's getting hit and who's doing it, which the media loves to do. But what it's about is people are committing atrocities of evil, and there's no one there to counter that evil. And that's the big problem. To your point, equal and opposing force. If you have a problem, step up. Let's deal with it. Instead of acting like in a country of 400 million guns, that all of a sudden you pass some laws and everything's just going to go quiet because you did your due diligence and Nancy Pelosi passed some laws. That's just not the way that reality works.
It's not, and it's not what I see with the real people out there when I talk to them. They see this happening, and maybe they had an opinion one way or the other with guns before that, right? Maybe their opinion was against guns before that, and when they see it, they go, you know what? Man, if that was me, though, I would have no one in that moment. If that was my wife, I was looking, did you see the video where there's like this young girl, she's working out, I think, in like her community gym or something like that,
right?
So.
I think
so.
Yeah.
And she's working out, and there's someone at the door. She just walks to the door and lets the dude in, and then turns her back on the guy, right? And goes back to working out. And then this guy approaches her, and she starts to feel uncomfortable, and the guy actually starts fighting her.
Right.
Now, luckily for her, she survived all that because she didn't give up. She kept fighting. The guy got tired of fighting her, which is, once again, the point. Everyone's looking for an easy victim. No one wants you to fight back, right? I think she messed up in a lot of ways there by letting that guy in. But man, when you look at that thing, you say, damn, what if she wasn't as tough as she was?
Right.
She would need a little something else, and I don't know if they even
Right.
caught that guy. That guy would need to catch some shots,
Well,
right?
see, that's the thing. And this, dude, I could go on for days about the wussification of America. Like, oh my God, were there no other men there?
No, I think she was in that place on her own. It was just her and that guy.
If it was just her and that guy, okay, she did a pretty good job. But for me, I'm kind of like, man. I mean, like, you gotta attack a woman, bro. Come on, guy.
That guy's broken. That guy's broken, man. He thought that she was in there and she was just an easy target.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she fought it off. I hadn't actually seen if there were other people in there or not. But that's my first thought: is who was around for the love.
No, that guy needed to catch some bullets, man. And like, kudos to her. She's tough. She fought back. Kudos to her for that. But everyone can't do that. If that's like your mom or your grandma, she would have not necessarily been able to fight back as much as that unless she was, tough enough to do that. And I think that when people see these kind of things, if you're looking at that and you're thinking, oh, wow, that could have been my wife,
Yes, 100%.
That's happened to people. That happened to a rapper a couple of years ago that him and his wife came home from a long trip, and he went to use the bathroom, and he believes in guns, but he went to use the bathroom, and a doorbell rang, and his wife thought it was a UPS guy, so she opened the door, and it was someone trying to rob them. At gunpoint, that guy came in there. So the rapper's on his toilet, pants down, no gun, and he hears his wife screaming and everything, and he has to go get a gun and then come down, and he gets into a shootout with this guy, believe it or not. And he actually wound up hitting the guy, but the guy ran out of, the guy was trying to steal their car, and the guy like ran out into the street, and he went out after this guy naked. I don't know if you heard about this whole thing.
You know what, Hank? If I'm gonna go after a guy, it's gonna be naked. I mean, that's a statement.
Yeah,
that's
but it happens. The point I'm making, is this kind of stuff happens, and when you think about it, it's like, man, the only, you just don't think about things you do sometimes in life, and the only advantage you have in that moment, right, is these things called guns, right here.
Well, that's the whole point, is these things called guns, as you so adequately put, they aren't evil, they're tools. It's that simple. That's how freedom was established in this country. That's how freedom has been established in multiple countries. It's also a tyranny was established in a bunch of countries. It is a tool. It is an extension of the person wielding it. Yeah. It's just like swords. It's just like bows and arrows. It's just like any other armor. Everything comes down to the person and the people and the motives of what they're doing. And if you had an entire population like, I don't know, Texas, not an entire population, but a very healthy population that was always packing, you're going to think twice if you're a criminal because you don't know who's packing.
Absolutely. Primitive Hunter 18 says if Paul Pelosi had a gun, he could have stopped the guy breaking in.
If Paul Pelosi had different things going on, there would have been different things going on.
Happening.
So many things that are going on.
Yeah, well, okay.
Because when I call the police, I'm always in my boxers with a drink. Always.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot happening there.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot happening, yes. I think they have enough money to have bulletproof windows.
Because Pelosi, I think she has the most amazing and accurate stock investment record in history, right?
these guys have at least what is it? Hundreds of millions of dollars they've made.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe a quarter to a half $1 billion. Yeah.
Hank, when you got it, you got it.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. All right, so we're back here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that time comes fast. So what stuff, I know you're always looking at a lot of different news stuff. not
Oh,
necessarily
God, yes.
things, not necessarily things that you wind up making videos about, right? Because some of
Yeah.
it's interesting, but not necessarily relating to the Second Amendment.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely,
What kind of stuff are you looking at, man? What do you think?
man. So when and now, are you talking about specific? I'm like private time, or like
Yeah,
you talking
anything.
about-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It doesn't.
You know,
That's not necessarily 2A.
yeah. So when I'm not doing that, okay.
Okay.
So one of the things that I found, first of all, my private time is like my personal time is kind of getting smaller in my world.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Obviously the new podcast or the new YouTube channel with Tim at Second Legacy, but I also hired my first employee. I'm getting her up and running, and we're doing all that stuff.
Congratulations, man!
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's extremely exciting. So we're force multiplying, and when I get a second, when I'm not like off work and I pull up my computer and I'm doing things for the next day to prepare for the more work, I don't know, man. I really have got this bug about the stock market. I love.
Really?
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun.
Any particular sector in the stock market? The overall stock
No.
market? Okay.
No. So I find it extremely fascinating. I really like analyzing patterns. That's just something for me. My brain gets very happy by noticing patterns and kind of tracking them and figuring things out. So I like looking at stock market graphs and kind of using different analysis to figure out what's going on. I find it relaxing for my brain. But the ones that I really gravitate towards, the ones that you can really genuinely make money in a day, is just following the Nasdaq and then going up and going down with it.
Okay.
There's inverse ETFs and there's ETFs, and I'll look at the graphs, and if something picks up momentum, I'll buy some of it, and then it'll ride, and then when it starts losing momentum, I'll sell it, and I'll be like, cool. And it's just it's kind of like a little wind rush. It's like you jab it in your shoulder, and then you go on to work. So
yeah, your brain is pattern oriented. My brain is like that
100%.
too. Yeah,
100%.
Okay.
And I genuinely find peace in just observing patterns and stuff. I don't know why.
Do you short stuff, or you're just going long everything?
Hank, it depends what I'm wearing.
Okay.
No, it depends on if I'm looking at the graphs and I'm seeing momentum shifts and stuff. If I think it's about to go downward, then I'll short it, and if it's probably going to go upward, I'll support it going upward.
Okay.
But I find that stuff very fascinating. I don't know. I just
Okay. Have you spent any time
I
shorting Tesla? I know someone said TUSC in there, Primitive
No.
Hunter. Asper Warrior says that explains the bullish word usage.
Exactly. That's exactly. I'm bullish on freedom. Yep.
Yeah. No, I caught it.
Yeah,
Tesla.
so-
Have you shorted any Tesla?
No, I have not touched Tesla. So
Why?
Tesla, only because we are not in the cycle where it's going to start going up again. We're still in a bear pattern. We're still in a bear trajectory. We're at a point right now. If it continues breaking what it did today, we're going to see the next leg down on a bear market rally, and then it's going to flip over, and then we're going to see
Was
some
Tesla
more come up
down
after.
today? I didn't look at it.
All tech was down today. The market was down 700 points today.
Oh wow, yeah, Tesla's down big. Oh yeah, I'll put that.
So
that
Tesla,
I'll share that with the folks out there.
Yeah, there you go. So the
5%
interesting
down.
thing, I know. So the interesting thing about that is, again, going back to those patterns. I like to notice patterns, and I like to assign reasons and discern reasons why things are happening. And one of the things that when something does not have something on the other end of the equal sign that makes sense, I'll start investigating it. And Tesla had a run up that was crazy from like the beginning of January all the way to the middle of February. So did Apple, so did all the tech. Meta jumped up, and then all of a sudden it faded out. And it was very interesting because there wasn't any market reason for it to be doing that fast, that quick. The Fed was saying they're still raising rates. The bonds were still going up. Dollar values were going up. Everything was still going up. And yet tech and Tesla was skyrocketing. And when you start looking at all the different analysis, and you start to look at all the different graphs and charts, and you start to see, like, I love looking at the smart money and the dumb money charts. And when I see the smart money is completely out of the market and the dumb money is like skyrocketing, and I'm looking at Tesla, I'm going, oh, I get it. And then you just kind of watch. It's just like timber, baby.
Yeah. Well, we're all looking for a big market crash here at some point, and it just keeps not happening. Which typically doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It's it's just maybe like a prolonged effect out there. But ultimately, it's supposed to happen if you look at everything that's happening here, right? Like your money is worth less. People are not working as much, not even wanting to work or even being able to find work. There's a whole bunch of things going on that at some point here the market has to break. Values on everything are really high, like real estate values. All kinds of stuff are really high. Look at the way they're selling cars now. So like ridiculously overpriced, right?
Oh yeah. Well, the demand for them was outpacing supply by a large margin. So price just shoots up.
But even a lot of that should have come off, but the dealerships and stuff like that are not coming off on the prices. So it's this weird thing. Everyone's waiting for everything to break. I think Tesla is always like an interesting case because, for example, Lola right now is waiting for Tesla to go down so she can buy some Tesla stock. I used to be all into all of this kind of stuff. I don't do it like this. What we're doing right now is my area of expertise, so that's where I invest my money. That's what
of course.
Yeah, I tend to work like that, but she's waiting for Tesla to come down, and it was going up, and I was like, don't worry.
Then she better get ready because it's going to come down pretty soon. So
so is everything. Everything's going to come down.
Well, everything will, right? But so my thing is, I can never tell the future, like no one can. But I think that the tech rally that we just saw is about to give a lot of it back, and you're about to see a new low achieved, and then it's just going to start running again. So I think we're going to continue in a bear market for a while. I don't know exactly how long. Could be 3 months, 6 months. I don't know. But everything is pointing to the Feds raising rates again. And if they raise rates again, oh baby, put your helmet on. This is gonna be fun. Yeah. So it's staying cash and picking opportunities when you take them, and then getting out really quickly when you have a little bit of profit, and then just watching the whole thing move.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of it when people start defaulting on stuff. Now, we're going to see like a mass default on home loans and stuff like that we saw before. I'm not sure, but it's going to start happening with credit cards, and then probably car loans, and then it's going to, it's going to hit those
that's the
things.
Cycles. That's the cycle that everything that we see is in a cycle. So if you go back to 2008, everyone was overextending into houses, and they were overextending and over leveraging themselves. It corrects, and all of a sudden the jobs start to go away, the money starts to go away. That causes defaults. That causes a surplus of data or surplus of goods, and then the prices fall. People who had cash pick up the prices at the bottom, and the whole thing starts over again. It's just
but I think it corrected it. But even in the correction, it corrected itself too fast, in my opinion.
Yeah. Which correction you talking about? 08?
Yeah, I think that corrected really too fast to me. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but obviously the government was just printing money and doing all kinds of things out there.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
that's what caused it.
And we've had a lot of that. That's the reason why we actually haven't hit the crash that we should be seeing by now, or correction. Because they're propping it up. So the thing is, when are we actually going to see that? It's either going to happen right before elections, which is typically when it happens, or sometime after.
Honestly, you know what? Dude. So I'll just be completely candid with you. A lot of the moves that I've made with Second Legacy, new channel, with my first employee, with my channel expanding, some other things I'm working on, all of it is gearing towards 2024. I mean, 2024 is going to be a very big year across the board. I'm very curious. I mean, like, I'm never gonna.
If you're a gambling man, it's gonna be exciting times.
Oh well, yeah, no, that's exactly right. So, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say Trump 2024. I'm not gonna say Biden 2024. I tend to go with whoever's gonna support gun rights the most. That's kind of what I'm talking about. But I also, in the positions that we're in, we can't come out and fully endorse like across the board, because that's not really what we do. We provide objective analysis of what's going on. But man, I just don't want to see Trump Biden again.
I'm with you. I think Trump had his time. I think he had his time. He was president. He did his thing. I voted for him both times. But yes, I'd like us to move on, because I think Trump running again even is all about him and not about us. So that's what I think the problem is.
For me, I see a lot of promise in a lot of things that are happening, but I don't necessarily think that. Well, again, not endorsing anyone, but Trump has a lot of baggage that comes along with everything that goes forward, but people who are coming behind him don't necessarily, right? Your Governor DeSantis is putting up a pretty strong case from a conservative perspective, and it's like, well, okay, hold on a second. He doesn't have that baggage that someone else does.
I would agree.
What's that about? But at the same time, they're all politicians, so it's kind of like, it's like,
I think DeSantis is like I know there's a whole bunch of people jumping in there. He's the governor here in Florida, and I think he's doing a good job. If he's really doing a good job, he's got people that's coming along with him, right, in his administration here in Florida, that could take over or run for office after him and still run the state really well. I think that could be true from some of the folks I'm seeing out there.
It's pipeline. So there's the difference between being a superstar and being a leader is you have pipeline behind you that can continue on through them standing into the spotlight. Like that's a big piece of being a leader. It's not just, I have these tendencies and I make these things happen. Well, if you are in that spotlight and you step out and you go somewhere else, maybe to a bigger stage, and that place fails, you're not a good leader. You're a superstar. There's a difference.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's what we're seeing a little bit with Trump, when folks who are on his side now are deciding to run and he's attacking them. I think we're seeing that with DeSantis. We're seeing that with Nikki Haley. This is where I've lost faith in Trump, right? And this is where I could see his selfishness. Like, these are people who supported him in his administration, in him being president, even after, things didn't go his way. We can argue about that forever. I'm probably on the side of the argument most people would make out there. But every time those people, they don't even say anything about him and they're trying to run, he's attacking them. Then that proves to me you're not a leader. You should, for Trump especially, he's a rich guy. He was president. I think he can be a good leader for the Republican Party. He doesn't have to be president again. Help to make some leaders and put those folks out there and help move them forward.
I think you just said the most important piece. Whether people watching the show right now are for Trump or against Trump, it's not necessarily that. That's not the point of what we're discussing, right? So. If you want to be president, you want to be president. But if you truly want to affect the change that you're saying that you want to affect, go into the head of the Republican Party and be the biggest fundraising dynamo you've ever seen. Bring away and consolidate the party and unify them behind individual candidates, of which you have a hand in helping. If it's truly about going after and taking the country back and doing all these things, the direct path is not always in the limelight. Sometimes the best leaders are the ones you don't see. Yeah,
I totally agree with that,
And that's just leadership. That's not necessarily pro-Trump or anti-Trump. That's just a leadership tactic, right? It's like, how much influence do you want to have? You want to have this little bit? Do you want the whole watermelon, or do you want the whole grape, or do you want a slice of watermelon?
Right, so exactly. Like, Dan Hates You says, I want revenge against the deep state pro-Trump. Okay.
Go team.
I get it. I'm with you on that. If that's what it comes down to, if it comes down to like Trump and Biden, I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. Yeah.
Obviously. You could go for Captain Poopy Pants over here, who just screams at random times, I want my ice cream.
Yeah.
Why are you screaming, Joe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that...
assault weapons.
Dan Hates You says, who needs that? Just wreck the federal government. Listen, I think in order to get what we realistically want out there, we need other folks to go for this. We need some younger conservatives, like real conservatives out there to go for it. And I think a lot of this becomes more than the individual. That's really important with a leader. If you're a leader, are you just trying to get revenge for yourself or vindication for yourself, like you're saying, or are you trying to move the movement forward? This is what matters. And that's just the way my brain works. I think, I don't expect everyone else's brain to work like that, but overall, that's what I want. Like, when it comes to guns, man, I want us overall to move forward, and
Correct.
This thing that we're talking about, I think we need the younger generation like you doing what you're doing. And then folks like me need to support that. You don't mean that I'm less. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to bring
Right.
you down to make myself better. No, as a matter of fact, me pushing you forward and other people forward helps me.
Well, right, but
You know?
that's the progression of a healthy ecosystem and a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
When you are passing things on to the next generation, that's one of the statements that I say every intro to every video. The point of what we're doing here is to pass the blessing on to the next generation. Passing the blessing on to the next generation is not me handing it to somebody. The point is we're generating more people behind us. The next channels that we were talking about, they're the ones that come behind us. They carry it behind us. There are people, if I ignore everybody or if I don't help anybody, and well, that's just helping, like, me, that's just me. But it's, I mean, Jared came out of nowhere and helped me. He mentored me. That was a good example of that. You have Tim coming out of nowhere mentoring me. That was a big part of that.
Yeah, Mac, who you're talking about, Tim.
Yeah, sorry.
I call him Mac, but you know what? Mac did a lot for me, man, when I came in.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's what has.
Yeah.
That's what's required.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say we're all in this together. And
Right.
the young bucks, the young bucks will have their time in the sun, and they'll be the young bucks. And then pretty soon they get some horns on them, some age. And if they don't decide to help the younger ones, you're hurting the movement. You're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a very big piece of it.
I agree with you, man. I think it's really important. You know, like, I've got kids, you've got kids. My kids are a little bit older. They're in their early 20s. I want to see them enjoy freedom in America overall, not just guns. Of course, I have guns that, you know, I spend a lot of money buying that I want my kids to have and enjoy, you know, but I want to see them enjoy freedom overall, you know, in America and all that goes along with that. It just so happens that, you know, it's going to sound cliche, but freedom is not free.
No, it's not. And but you know what though, and I'm glad you said that, to be honest, because a lot of people will jump. I'm not saying any one individual. I'm just saying in a hypothetical archetype, right? Sometimes people will jump to, well, we're either going to revert back to the mean or we're going to pop this bad boy off and it's on. And you know, the stuff that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, I would actually argue that it is harder for people to consistently fight unjust laws and fight through the court system and fight through the court of public opinion and bring more people to the side than to pick up a rifle. Because you're engaging in a long-term fight. You're engaging for the hearts and minds of people, and you're bringing them along to a heritage that people have bled, sweat, and died for. It doesn't matter who you are, what you love. I don't care about any of that stuff. But the important piece is you got to understand the freedom was handed to you, handed on. That's a much harder fight than picking up a object. I mean, honestly.
And you know what the other thing is, man, especially when you have kids, you have people in the world that you care about, you know, once we get into that fight, we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen to your children, to your family, your friends, the people that you care about. Yourself, like, you know, even if you don't care about yourself, right? Or you're like an old bull, you know, like me, and like, oh, whatever, fuck it. Well, you know, unless you're just a really selfish person, you don't know what's going to happen to the world. And I think, listen, I've lived all over the world. America, to me, is hands down the best country on the face of this planet. Nowhere's perfect. America's not perfect. And, you know, until we started getting to this, like, super woke thing, I don't know, it just really got bad in the last 20 years. You know, we were doing better. We were working on things. We were getting over our differences. I remember coming to America in the 80s, and the problems we had in the 80s, by the time we hit like the early zeros, we were starting to climb out of that. And then we just kept getting smacked with things. We got smacked with 9/11 and all kinds of different things kept happening to us. And now we're kind of more divided, but we've got the most potential, I think, of any country on the face of this planet exists here in America, and I want to see that. And it's going to slow that down if we get into a war that we don't know when it's going to end amongst ourselves.
But that's the thing. So if you look at this beyond that, and I know we got a break coming in a second. If you look beyond just that initial, I've got frustrations, it's time, our ancestors would have, that's how the country was founded. Yeah, but they gave us all these tools so we wouldn't have to do that again. And the bringing of people along in that ideological fight, that's where the meat is. Anybody can resort to physical violence. But when you bring people to your side through reason, through logic, and through freedom, that's where you win. Like, really win.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back here. We're gonna do some couple of different things here when we get back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC. Primitive Hunter says that's why we need F-15s. Yeah, I agree. So listen, man, I asked some friends of ours, if there was anything, like I told them that you and I are doing a podcast. And,
Hold on. I need to know which friends these are so I can identify if they're friends or foes here. Hold on.
John Patton, that's one.
Oh, God. Okay.
So,
it's going to be snarky. It's going to be snarky, and I know
he
it.
He says, so I was like, hey, anything you want me and Braden to talk about? Patton said, yeah, talk about this video that I have out. So, here you go. I'll just show this a little bit on his channel. He says, this costs more than my life. That's what he wants us to talk about right there.
He would. What are we dealing with here? Hold on a second. What kind of situation?
I'm gonna have to skip. Yeah, we're gonna have to skip. John's
pointing, and he's yelling.
Oh no, he always does that.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think this is a revolver.
Why is he wearing a Guns and Gadgets shirt? And now that's just insult to injury.
Should he be wearing your shirt?
No, he should get his own merch.
Let me
get it in there. Get it in there.
We got to skip forward here in this gun, man. Here we go. Boom. What is that?
What is this?
Nighthawk custom.
I'm about to say, what is this?
Look at that. Very nice. 44 Remington Magnum. What is that? What is that red thing on the hammer for? What?
It's
what, is that like jewelry?
It's a revolver, Prince Albert.
Oh. So there you. Oh, it's $9,000, by the way. Look at that.
Well, you know what? Let's buy it.
So wait, is John saying his life is only worth $9,000? Okay, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, his beard is kind of scraggly.
Yeah, he says this costs more than my life. Okay, so there you go. That's one.
Okay, that's one.
Let me see. Okay, and then our friend Ben Sanderson. Let me see. He's got a thing.
Okay,
Let's see if I can. Oh, he also put the same thing up. So Ben, he also wanted us to talk about this same thing. This gun costs more than my
So this
life.
has nothing to do with us. This is all about their own self-promotion.
Yes, exactly. So there you go.
Okay.
So I could just tell those dudes done, or do you want to add anything?
Oh no. Let's continue. This is great fun. I enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Done. I think Ben said that's the prettiest revolver he's ever seen. Yeah, that's cool. No. Are you into revolvers at all? I don't know.
Again, depends what I'm wearing.
Really?
Probably not. Mm-hmm. Not that much. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Only because of efficiency and a kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at 6.
Okay.
They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Double as a bludgeon.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna leave no doubt.
Okay, you want more rounds.
Reloads.
Yeah.
You never know. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I like a good revolver. They're beautiful. They're nostalgic. They're fun to shoot in a range.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Go to that as my first choice for. Aliens are coming, or balloons.
Right. Yeah. Revolvers are cool. Like I just got a single action,
cool.
like an old single action Colt Bisley. I just got one of those. They're cool guns to like have in your collection.
Right.
And there are some revolvers that are good for like personal protection as a backup and stuff like that. They don't go out of battery that easy. Like not your necessarily first gun you go to, but
Well, of course, but I mean, they're effective. It's not like they're not effective. It's just if I'm going to go to one, I'm going to go to a semi just because I'm fully trained on them. I'm comfortable with them, and it's things went real wrong real fast.
Okay, what do you think about 1911s? I was showing a 1911 here. This is actually this is a TSOS that I have here. TSOS since 1993. It's crazy.
I love me a 1911.
Yeah, it's crazy when a company said since 1993.
Right. Since I was 8.
In gun, yeah, in gun terms.
Right, exactly.
But yeah,
Oh,
this is a TUSC I recently acquired here. Just your regular
Yeah.
1911 type of thing here. Yeah, I think it's single stack. Let me see. Yeah, single stack.
See, 1911s. Here's my thing. I've got
Turkish.
I got two things. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I got two things I'm going to say about 1911s here.
Mm-hmm.
One, actually, we're going to say three things.
Okay.
One, I love the heaviness of a 1911. I love the all metal. I love that. It feels good. It feels good, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're incredibly accurate guns.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like 1911s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like 1911s and 9mm.
You don't? Okay.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to do it, I'm doing it. I'm
You're
getting
doing it?
8
Okay.
rounds, and it's going to be a 45.
Yeah.
And I don't even care. It's
Yeah,
just,
that's my first one in 9mm. I don't have
No,
that
they're
many
cool.
1911s. Yeah, I don't have that many. Would you buy? Do you have like a price? Since we're talking about Patton and that gun that's more expensive than his life at less than 10 grand. Do you have a price at which you're gonna buy? Like you're not gonna go above this price by like this 1911 here. I think was maybe like 250
Yeah.
bucks.
So,
Yeah, I don't. If it got
so
to
I have
$300, it was expensive.
You're like, whoa. All right, so I have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, if I have any ARs,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll get to the 1911 thing in a second.
Mm-hmm.
If I have any ARs, I'm never buying one. I'm always building it because I can build it better than most people can manufacture one, and with higher parts for less money. That's just reality,
Okay, so you're not
right?
you're not buying a $3,000 AR.
Not on anybody's life. With $3,000, I could build like 5 ARs that were mid to upper quality. With $3,000 on my parts, yeah, no, I can beat anything mass produced.
No, I agree with you. Even
can.
if you're talking about like integrally suppressed or something like that, I agree with you. Even if you go
You can easily do it.
to that level, yeah.
Yeah, and because let's just face it, ARs are not that difficult to assemble. What you're paying for is proprietary pieces and designs of which you can just get your own no matter how you do it. But anyway, I digress. There's one gun that I will spend good money on, and if we're talking about a semi-automatic that I would carry in a holster for an EDC, I'm gonna spend $600 as my cap, $600-$700 on like Springfield's that price point, right? I'm not really going above that. I don't care to do that. However, there's one gun that I'm going to give as and I call it my made it gun. I have not bought it yet, but I'm going to get a Nighthawk Custom 1911.
Really? Nighthawk Customs?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I will spend when I make it, and this is like a crowning life achievement. This isn't because it's Tuesday. So I would spend $4,000 on a capstone achievement like a Nighthawk for that. I would do that, but that's the only thing that I would do, and it's because when I was like 22, I told myself, because I worked at a gun shop, I told myself I would be able to do that one day when I made it. And when I make it, that'll be my I made it gun. And that's as simple as it is.
Okay, cool. Is Nighthawk your top of the line in the 1911 world to you? Or
yeah, that's the highest I'm going.
Okay. Have you ever seen Cabot guns? I like their 1911s.
I haven't had my hands on them.
Oh, okay. If you're at SHOT Show, well, Cabot Guns usually has all their guns on the glass. But I have actually like shot them and handled them and stuff like that before. Those are the 19. I like Nighthawk as well. I've bought their stuff. Not bought their stuff. Let me not say that because I didn't do that. I have shot stuff that other friends have bought.
Yeah.
I got in trouble one time.
Yeah, you took it for a date. That's all you did.
Yeah, I got in trouble one time because I did this video at a local range where the guy knew I was on YouTube, and he just bought a used Nighthawk, and he just gives it to me, right? And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go get some like real expensive ammo, and he's like, no, just use this ammo. He gives me a box of steel case ammo. Steel case 45, and I was like, dude, I think I should just go get some ammo. He's like, no, I don't care. You shoot that through it. And I shot that and it was fine, but the whole video, people were complaining in the comments to me about that. And the video actually did well because everyone was complaining, but but it wasn't me though. I at least knew enough not to do that. But the guy who bought the gun didn't give it. He didn't care.
man,
and as a you know, as a positive to Nighthawk Customs, man, the gun ran.
oh no, to me, they not only run really well, but they're also beautiful. They are works of art.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the allure for me is they do custom work. Like one gunsmith works on that with files, with all the different pieces, and that there's something like a craftsmanship piece to it, which I really like. It's not overly mass produced.
Yeah.
I just really like that concept. And it's, I don't know, it's a very American ideal to me, like making these guns out of just metal. It's just, and it's 1911. It's so iconic. I mean, you've got all the different wars that it took place in. I believe it's still the longest serving pistol ever. I mean, it's just, it's such a proven platform and so iconic. And to make it a beautiful craftsmanship thing and tie into the I made it piece, you know, it's just awesome. But now, I'll tell you one gun that tempts me, and this one tempts me. The guns that, oh my God! Now I had it and I just lost it. Oh my God!
Okay.
Staccatos.
Oh really? Those 20,
Oh, dude.
like the 2011s that they're making.
The new ones. The new ones. I'm like, I mean, like, that's like that little side piece. That's like, ooh,
right.
I'm not gonna do it. But
you gonna look.
yeah. Like I'm on a diet, but I'm gonna look at the dessert tray. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like those are beautiful, and the triggers and just all the goodness, all the greatness.
There's a lot of beautiful 1911s out there. Night Train says 9mm kills the body, but 45 ACP kills the soul. So then, what about 10mm? What about 10mm 1911s? I mean, we could just get crazy here.
That kills the bear behind the soul.
That kills your soul, and it kills all the generations behind that soul,
and
for like 7
ancestors.
Generations. Yeah, it goes back and just takes them out.
Yep, love it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm wondering what other expensive guns out there fall into that category. You know what? Some of the older things are expensive. Like that single action Colt that I got. That's an expensive gun. But that's kind of a thing for me as a gun guy. I was like, you know what? I gotta have one of these.
You gotta have a cowboy gun.
Yeah, you gotta have a cowboy gun. It's gotta be old. You know, it's the first Colt I ever have. A lot of gun guys already have Colts. You know, they've got the Colt ARs. I don't have none of that. That was my first Colt ever. You don't have a Colt?
You know, no, not a Colt AR. No, I'm the interesting thing, because these guns, like the big fascinating piece, and people who aren't in the gun world don't understand this. It's not just an inanimate object. Like these things have nostalgia. They have history. They have relationships to them. Like one of the guns that I have that is a run-of-the-mill gun. It's one of the most important ones to me. Is an M1 carbine that my grandfather bought surplus when they used to have them in the Sears catalog on a train 50 years ago. And I got that's mine now.
Awesome.
And
congratulations. That's great.
And it's incredible. But it's just a run-of-the-mill military surplus. But it's because my grandfather shot it with me. My grandfather gave it to me, and that was all before he passed away. So it's like there's more than just you're just a gun guy. You just gotta emasculate your No,
soul goes into. We were talking about soul. Soul goes into metal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe the term is imbued.
Is that what it is? Hold on.
I think so.
Let me Google this.
You may Google. You may Google me.
How do we spell this?
I think it's IMBUNED. I think imbued.
Imbued. Yeah, let me see. I'll share my. Is it imbued or imbued? Let me see.
It might be imbued. I might just be putting some. Yeah, it's imbued.
Here we go. Yeah, it's imbued. It's imbued.
I might be putting some Georgia on it.
Let's see. Past tense imbued.
Boom.
Yeah. Principle. Inspire or permeate with a feeling of quality. The entire performance was imbued with sparkle and elan. You gotta
now we gotta look up elan.
You gotta look up elan now. Oh, damn it. Yeah. What does elan mean?
I always throw an N in there. Dude, good luck. You better spell this right, because you're gonna get Elon Musk all day.
Elon, energy, style, and enthusiasm.
It is Elon. Good Lord.
Oh boy. Yeah, I was trying to tell. Dan Hates You says 10mm kills the wallet. Tesla is a hard stock to
Preach.
short. If I was people out there, I would not short Tesla. Don't do it. That's my personal advice to you.
Here's the
Don't
thing
short
with
Tesla.
Tesla. If you don't know how to read charts and predict where it's going after it does what it does, you're going to lose money because Tesla's going to go up $10 or it's going to go down 20. And then tomorrow it's going to go up 20 and down 5. I mean, like, it's a very volatile stock.
Also, I would say, like, you know, even from the tech, like, if you don't understand, this is my idea on this. People shouldn't trade on the stock market in things they don't understand. So, like, that particular sector, you got to have some level. I know there is the charts and how they work and all that, but you also have to have like an understanding of what that is. And Tesla is not a car stock, and people keep looking at it as an automotive stock, and it's not. And Tesla is way more valuable than any other automotive company that trades publicly.
Well, that's because Tesla's a tech stock, man. That's all that is.
It's a tech stock.
It's a software company.
Yes, and they have and you have to look at them more like Google. And what's the value of Google? If we looked up the value of Google right now, we would see. And the reason why I say
John Patton.
Oh, you're saying
$10,000.
Yeah, is that what Google's trading for now? Oh my God.
No,
Really?
not at all. No, Google is getting smoked right now, but that's.
Oh, it is. It's getting. Oh, let's see. Let me look it up. Oh wait, what? So when did Google? And by the way, Google is Alphabet, right? They must have done massive stock splits then. Because I remember back in the day when they were like over $1,000 or something. They were really high. So they're down today also. So it's like $91 or something.
Yeah, they got smoked.
Okay. Oh, you know why? That's because they weren't up on the whole AI thing. That's what was going on with that.
the chat GBT or whatever.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. Remember, they just laid off a whole bunch of people, Google. And Google owns YouTube.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but if you
by the way, I would like to take this opportunity to say how much greatness is brought into the world by Alphabet and Google, and I'm not saying that just because you own YouTube.
Right. Okay. You think they're watching us on YouTube right now?
They're always watching.
They're always observing. They're always observing.
Yeah. Like the angels in the outfield.
The thing about Tesla, think about this. At least in America, Tesla's got like maybe 3-4 million cars on the road. That even if you don't have full self-driving turned on, your car is tracking everything that you do on the road.
Oh God, yes.
Okay, and it could tell traffic patterns. It could do all that, and you're training the self-driving AI. There's all these cars out there doing that, and it's a lot of info, and it knows who you are also. So that's a lot like Google. That's why Google was so valuable and is still so valuable, because they know everything about us.
Oh, absolutely.
YouTube knows everything. Yeah. YouTube. Any person who has a YouTube channel knows that YouTube could tell you everything about what's going on. Yeah.
Anything.
And Tesla is another generation of that. So the software is the big thing, not so much the car, and that's what people need to understand about that. So even if they were going to go out of business, there's companies out there that would buy them up. And that's the reason why it's hard to short. Like, I have friends that have been shorting them for years and just burning money.
Jeez. No thanks.
You know? And then always trying to rationalize stuff to me, and I'm like, I don't think you understand what's happening. So, okay, listen, I'm going to show, we got like a minute here. Maybe I'll wait. I've got this gun here. Here, there's a gun in this case.
Okay.
And we'll do this in the next thing. I'll give you guys a chance to guess what's in this case.
Hank, since they're gonna guess, I just want to say something out loud, just for the record. If there's a Ruger LCP in there, I'm hanging up.
Okay, you're fine.
I just want to put it on record.
Is that your guess?
If there's a Ruger LCP in there.
A Ruger LCP. Okay, no, you're good. Yeah. You're safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you another one. What's in this case? Can you guess what's in here?
Nintendo DS.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. I will let the people out there should know what's in this one already. They've known me long enough. You think a Nintendo DS is, and you think there's a Ruger in this?
No.
You're hoping there isn't one.
I think you got class, Hank. I think you got class. I don't think you do that to me or your viewers.
I've owned a Ruger LCP in my life.
Listen, Hank. This is the point when you don't say that.
Dan Hates You says Kel-Tec P3AT, which is the same thing.
I was gonna say that.
It's
Dan.
the same thing. So what's better to you? What's better? Do you think a Ruger LCP is better or the Kel-Tec, the original Kel-Tec P3AT?
Oh my God, that's like deciding whether I want to stick my hand in a fire pit or an ice pit. They both suck.
Come on, you got 15 seconds.
Between the two, I'd have to do LCP. I'd have to do it between the two.
You're saying that's better than the Kel-Tec? Okay,
that's in my humble.
I would agree. They've improved it because they've done a second version. Kel-Tec has never done a second version. The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com. By the way, we got to get Patton. I got to get him on this show. I'm working on it. Don't worry.
I dig it.
Yeah, I'm working on to get him on the show. I'm going to ask him, like, what his gun collection looks like if, you know, it's probably deep. I believe it's a deep collection.
Oh, no. I think it's deep because he analyzes every single aspect of every single purchase he makes. Just from the conversations that we've had at events, it's like, man, you really thought this through.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that title too is he's gaming the algorithm a little bit there on that one. That's a good title.
Dude, no. We wouldn't do that.
No, I would 100%. I would do that. Okay, so let's see if what's in here is actually going to get Braden to hang up on me. We'll see. This is actually a Pelican case. So come on now, that's a genuine Pelican. Well, I hope it's a genuine Pelican.
It says the word Pelican on it.
Yeah, it says Pelican on it. So really nice. Here, I'll open it up for everyone there, and here you go. This is what it is. What do you think about that? Are you gonna?
Okay. No, I'm not hanging up. Anything that's foldable.
Anything that's foldable. So this is from Life Card. This is the Life Card from Trailblazer, I should say. Trailblazer Firearms. So here you go. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There you go. This is the Life Card 22 LR with with the threads on it.
Of course it's threaded.
So you can literally
for your tiny little pocket suppressor that doubles as a pin.
Yeah, I think I got a suppressor here somewhere. Oh man, I hope I brought that suppressor in.
If you put an Osprey on that, I swear, if an Osprey comes into the frame right now.
Oh yeah, the suppressor's here. No, it's not gonna be an Osprey.
Okay.
Let me see. This is actually a suppressor that has the Hank Strange. Let's see if we can get that up here. Come on, focus. Okay, you guys can't see it, but it has the Hank Strange logo on it here. I gotta try to block my eyes somehow so I could focus. I don't know. Anyway, we can't get it. Don't worry about it. So here we go. The suppressor is actually bigger. There we go. It's focusing now. See, there's the Hank Strange logo right there.
Oh my God, the suppressor is.
Oh, this
are
is
you compensating for something, Hank?
This is cool. I like it. Check that out.
What the hell is that shit?
Oh, that's so awesome.
Where do the freedom seeds go?
So they go. So if the extras go in here. So right there on the side, that's a little box.
Of course.
Put the 22 in, and then if you pull this back here, that's you
can barrel.
Actually,
nice.
Yeah, you can actually open it up right there, and then you cock back the hammer like that.
Just in case.
Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to actually drop the hammer on this thing without it, but yeah, so that's basically how you do it. There you go. That's cool. In my opinion.
No, that is cool. That is handy.
Yeah. So I like weird stuff like this,
No, that's okay.
And this is a cool thing. And you pull it down like that, you can actually, you can throw this in your pocket, right? With some,
Yeah.
as Braden said, some freedom seeds in right there. And then you can also throw a little suppressor like that. Look at that. It looks like your flashlight you got in your pocket.
Or you're happy to see me.
Yeah. So there you go. That's from I have it. This just came in today, so we're going to be doing some stuff with that, testing
Okay.
it. I need to figure out what's the smallest suppressor I can get now. Because this seems like this needs a little baby 22 suppressor.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't be putting on a suppressor that's like twice the size of the barrel.
It's got to be smaller than it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I could probably take this one apart actually.
I bet you. You know what I bet you could do? You could get some of those brake baffles that are from Yankee Machining, or Yankee Hill Machining, that they have where you take the baffles off and put them on and off, and depends on how much you want.
Yeah. So you might be able to do. I'm gonna look that up and see, like, what's the smallest I can get for that. But that's from Lifecard, or actually from Trailblazer Firearms, called a Lifecard. And I'm going to get them to come on the show and show you guys. They've got some cool stuff. They've got some cool folding guns and things like that. So now you said that this is a game, some kind of game system in here, right? That's
Nintendo DS.
This is what you're thinking is in here. This is a classic.
Sticking to it.
This is a classic, Braden. Just like me, I'm going to open it up for you so that you could see what's in there. Do you see that?
We got. Okay. Respect.
See that? So that's what's in here. Just check this out. Hold on. Let's see if I could still do it. Boom.
Oh my gosh. YouTube is crying right now.
This is why we do this on Utreon.
I get it.
This is why we do this on Utreon. There you go. Folding Glock.
Sometimes
right there with 33 round magazine.
Because you never know.
Yeah. Do you remember these?
You remember what?
Remember these folding Glocks from Full Conceal? Yeah. Man, I love stuff like this. I love these things. I think right now, is it Zev and Magpul? Someone will correct me out there. I think Zev and Magpul are working on a different configuration from this, but they're working on something like this. I've had this now for years and years. And I love this because, yes, I could put it in a case like this. And I do this all the time. If you guys don't believe me, I always carry this like in a bag. I have something else on me. And then this is my backup inside of a bag. And sometimes I'll take this into a restaurant and just put it on the table and chill, have dinner or whatever. And then people are like, what you got in there?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll show you after.
I'll show you after you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. Do you like weird stuff like that?
So I'm actually more of a traditionalist on that kind of stuff. So I I really find it intriguing. Like I love looking at it, seeing it, playing with it, and seeing what people are innovating around. But I would never carry it myself, only because I'm more traditional. Like that's just because I like, if I'm going to carry something, it'll be in a holster on my hip or wherever I'm going to carry it. I do not do the appendix carry. I don't care how safe a gun is. You don't ever point at something you don't want to destroy. I'm following rules.
You want to keep your junk, huh?
I like my junk where it is.
What if it was a folding? What if it was a folding 1911?
I don't. Okay, unless you have some Terminator metal that I don't know about.
Yeah.
No, bro. Like the appendix carry. I have concerns. I mean, so like a lot of people I know carry appendix, and that's fine, that's cool, whatever. But like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how do you sit down? Like, it's just like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I have not been able to do appendix carry. No, not really. Nope.
So for me, this is just me. The only benefit is that it doesn't print on either side. But you can avoid that pretty easily with IWBs, smaller handguns and pockets, stuff like that. I don't know. I've never needed to be at the point where I have a Kydex holster clipped onto the front of my pants with the gun pointing down at my junk, just in case. Because even the act of practicing that draw, I'm like, Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to run
Nope.
any chances that you're pulling out of there and you a little bit too trigger happy.
No, exactly. And like,
Imagine
and
dudes
mistakes
doing
happen.
that and then changing their triggers also.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand the principle. I understand the application. I get some people say it's quicker to just
Mm-hmm.
lift a shirt and pull.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you.
No, I get it too. I think there's scenarios
You're
like
awesome. And
yeah,
actually
there's
awesome.
there's scenarios like if you're buckled and your gun's on your hip, you know, that buckle and everything, the seatbelt's often going to get in the way, and I guess appendix carry it might be easier, or there's a whole bunch of different things that go on there.
It's totally possible. It's totally possible. For me, I see the pros, I see the cons, I weigh them, and there's not enough of an increase of a pro to move the gun to the front of my pants.
Yeah.
For
I'm
me.
with you on that. Yeah, yeah, and it's cool for anyone. Armin and Axis says so silly. He's laughing at. He says the folding Glock in the brony bag. This is not a brony bag. It's a Zelda. It's Zelda. It's not bro. I did have a brony bag before, Braden. That's what he's talking about. I had like one of those My Pony bags. You know, My Little Pony.
Yeah,
this
like a
same
brony.
gun. Yeah, it goes in a My Little Pony bag as well.
That's good.
And-
That's good. You really confuse people that way.
I actually took that to some show I went to, and the guys, when Full Conceal is not in business anymore, but when they were in business, they saw that and they were like, "Oh, that's cool," and they actually they took that from me to use it.
A brony. Oh, it hurts. It hurts a little bit.
We get up to different crazy stuff around here, man.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I have this thing where when unique, like when when there are two different things that are used to be one word, like an example, like a Glock, right? Well, you did a folding Glock. I have this thing where I always want to put those words together just to save time. So how would you do that?
Oh,
Folding Glock.
Flock, a flock.
A flock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Folding, yeah, flock maybe.
So
Falk?
it wouldn't be a gloater.
Oh.
Why are you leading off with the F, guy? Why is it going to be a flock? Why can't it be a gloater?
Gloater. Okay, gloater.
Or a
interesting.
gloat.
No, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh boy.
or a glony.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of good ones. Man. I love weird, cool guns. You know, that's why I collect bullpups.
Yeah.
That's like
those
my
things are
gun.
cool. No, bullpups are cool.
Okay, you like bullpups? Okay, not everyone likes bullpups.
Well, no. Here, so again, this is that efficiency piece, right? I don't like bullpups because of what the cons, the drawbacks of bullpups. Like, for example, if you're looking at the Tavor, I really don't like the Tavor, not because it's not a good gun or a good platform. I don't like it for two specific reasons. One, the triggers are mushy, squishy. I hate that. And then the other piece to that is the exhaust port or the ejection port is right here, and all that gas exhaust goes right into my eyes when I'm firing it here. I just don't like those aspects. But I'll tell you, the idea behind any type of bullpup is an incredible idea. Move the action further back so the gun is actually you get the same length of barrel but in a shorter platform.
Yeah, shorter footprint.
I love that because it makes sense because you can have an AR with the same range that goes out to distance, but you can also
longer.
turn corners.
Yeah, longer barrel. Yeah.
Or longer, or you can turn corners really carefully with the exact same gun. You don't need a multi-purpose application. Nowadays, you could just do like you could probably do a 10-inch barrel, and you still get out to 300, 400 yards accurately with modern ARs. So you can still accomplish that with an AR, a shorter barreled AR, like an SBR or something. But the idea of bullpups was really cool before they started making shorter barreled ARs.
Yeah, I think so. And even so, you know, if you can make the barrel shorter, then if you think about it, you can make it even shorter with the bullpup platform.
100%.
I think it's how it's done. Personally, I think a Tavor in lots of ways, and like a long time ago, I put up a video where I tested a Tavor against an AK and an AR. Which one do you think ran the longest?
The longest from a standpoint of continuous fire?
We torture tested it, so we were jumping in and out of muddy water, putting it in the mud, and all of the guns, and shooting it and all that kind of stuff.
I would have said an AK in that test.
So the AK lasted the shortest amount of time.
Interesting.
The second shortest amount of time was the AR, and the longest time was the Tavor, believe it or not. And what happened with the AK is that really, if there's a bunch of stuff inside of that AK, things could go wrong, and it's whether or not you could fix it. So what happened here is that a shell casing got like stripped out and stuck in the barrel, and then my friend that wanted to do this, and by the way, he was he was in cavalry and everything, so he's a combat veteran and all that kind of stuff, and he was trying to prove a point to me about bullpups and how terrible they are. So he was putting me through all this, and he brought his AK, but he didn't bring the rod, the cleaning
rod.
Yeah, so he couldn't get that shell casing out.
Because AKs never break. You don't need to clean them.
Yeah, that's not true. People believe that's true. That's not really true. Are they easy to handle? Are they rudimentary? Yes, they are.
Yes.
They're the AKs are like 1911s.
Oh, AKs are the Glocks of the rifle world.
Well, so like what I'm saying, like with a 1911, man, that's usually like the really good 1911 that's affordable is loose tolerances, and they work.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The expensive ones have tighter tolerances, made from the same piece of metal and all that, and the really good ones do work. But a lot of times there's companies that have real tight tolerances, and then there's a break-in period, which I don't believe in. Like when a gun has to go through 2,000 rounds as a break-in period, that's nonsense.
Right. I'm with you.
So I've seen guns like that, and I have friends who have 1911s that they'll actually lend it to me for a long period of time because they want me to do the break-in, making videos or something. Yeah, because I'm making videos with it, and then when they're like, okay, I think you shot it enough, they come back and get it. Because they don't want to put their ammo through it, right?
Well,
so they go to the YouTube guy to do it, and I think that's because it's too tight tolerances, and AKs are like that, not very tight tolerances and all that stuff.
Oh, 100%. It bounces and flops, and it's like a wet noodle.
Yeah, and it is, if you have the right tools, hey, it's easier to put back. I think an AR is also, an AR is probably, especially if it's not a piston driven, if it's a direct impingement AR, you can mess it up fast.
Oh, no, you absolutely can. I actually, of the two the two styles, I actually prefer a DI versus a piston.
Oh, you prefer? I like the DI.
It.
Why? Because it's lighter, or what's your?
Well, there is the lighter piece, but if something goes wrong, it's less complicated to fix in the field.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So I that's really the only reason, because at the end of the day, does the piston run cleaner? Yeah, it runs cleaner. Does it function more like an AK from that standpoint? Yes, it does. But if something goes wrong, it's pretty much out of commission until you can get back to an armorer's bench and get new pieces. If you've got a DI, I mean, the only things that are really going to go wrong on a DI, primarily, depending on how many rounds you're firing and conditions, but you're going to have, worst case scenario, a gas tube is going to bust and rupture, so it doesn't cycle. More commonly than not, you're going to have some sort of failure of either a seal on the actual BCG, which you can replace very quickly, or something bolt carrier group related. The barrels are pretty much going to work until you fire them out and they don't work anymore, but they're not pencil barrels, so it's you just do a government issue barrel. I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. I really like just the brute force rudimentary. Yeah, it might be dirtier, but I can clean it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's easy to clean. It's not like it's super difficult to clean.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You pop one piece out, you can do it in 10 minutes, and you're back in the fight. You can run a bore snake through it real quick, and you're clean. You're good.
Yeah, you could just hit it with a bunch of lube.
Yeah, exactly. And that
clean
applies
itself.
to many things in life. That applies to many things in life.
Yeah.
It's all for everything.
I think the thing with the Tavor that a lot of people don't realize is that, that is something that actually was tested in the field, man. Those guys in Israel were for real using those things. But yeah, I know, I I understand people's things with it and all that. And I know for us, when there were problems with that gun, when it was getting, wet, getting a bunch of stuff in there, it was actually easier to take it apart, believe it or not. Because at Tavor, you basically take that back part out, and all the guts slide out of there.
The action just comes out right the back.
Yeah, all that stuff comes out of there. Yeah, so it's easier, unless you wound up getting like something stuck in the barrel or whatever that happened with the AK. And I think that was just like bad luck. Some kind of grit got in there, and
it sounds like it.
Yeah, anything could happen. That's what I always tell people when it comes to guns. you believe, like, there's a myth around the AK that it can run no matter what, and people in the desert and in the jungles and all that kind of stuff are using it. And I was just in the swamps of Florida, and it got messed up, so it happens.
Swamps of Florida. What were you doing in the swamps of Florida? What you doing
It
over
was
there?
a torture test. It was like
swamps of Florida.
I'll never do that again. That's an old video for anyone who knows my channel and has seen that. It is,
Crocodile Dundee over here.
Yeah, Armin and Axis says, were you wearing gas masks when you're testing a Tavor? That is a thing, like you said. With lots of different guns. The best gun for that is Keltec, the RDB from Keltec.
RDB or RFB? Which one is it?
Well, both of those are good, but the RDB is they have the RDB in 5.56, so that would be the most comparable. The RFB is like in 308.
I love me a 308. I have the biggest crush on a 308.
Yeah, you got to come shoot with us sometime here in Florida, man.
Well, if I live in Florida, maybe then it will be much easier to obtain.
Yeah. You don't have to live here. You're always welcome to come shoot with us. We'll,
that's true. I always thinking that.
But we'll be happy to get. We almost got Guns and Gadgets, and then we lost him in the bidding wars that happened somehow. I think to Tennessee. Where did we lose him to?
Yeah, you lost him in Tennessee. You lost him to Tennessee, but I mean, I think the decision has been made on my end. You guys won me, so I'm pretty sure we'll
good, awesome. Okay, we're gonna be right back here. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com. Yeah, and just a quick thing here before we wrap it up. The RDB is rearward downward ejecting. So one of the cool things about that is those gases are going back and down. And not going in your face. Yeah, it is nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, it has a couple of flaws. Really, like the flaw to me is you can't use GI mags if you're shooting suppressed, because you got extra gases now if you're shooting suppressed, and it'll unseat them. But you don't have that problem with P mags or anything polymer. So
the blowback just sucks on some suppressors.
Yeah. So that's really the only thing with that. I think that Keltec did a good job with that. For anyone who cares, that's just my little tirade. I'm into bullpups. When you come here, we will shoot some bullpups or whatever else you want to shoot, man.
Well, hold on. This is really important because I really want to go on an iguana hunt. I think that's important because you can do that in Florida.
You can do that. I thought, didn't you do that with Roy from Barnauls? Oh, okay.
No, but I wanted to.
Yes. Well, yeah, there is someone here who you could do that with. Dudes, you could get it. You could bag a gator.
Oh, that's on the plan too. Yeah. Don't you worry.
Yeah, one of my friends has the license to do that, so.
Well, if I'm living in Florida, I can get my own license.
No, you can't. It's not easy, but yeah, you can.
Damn.
It's not an easy thing, man. It's not an easy thing to do. Those things are protected for some weird reason. There's just too many of them. They gotta take, but they're not. Once you put those protections on, they don't come off. So.
No. So
yeah,
I would absolutely. I would do a gator hunt once in my life just to say that I did it.
Yeah, I think so.
I also really want to hunt hogs.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done that either. But if you do gator, man, just think about that. You can have some shoes made out of it.
Oh man, I'm not even thinking about the leather. I'm thinking about the scrumptious gator tail.
Oh, that depends on how good of a cook you are. Not everyone's good at cooking gator.
Listen, my wife is good at cooking anything on the planet.
Boom, there you go.
So now here's another thing. There's another thing I got to do before we go. I got to say it on the internet.
Okay.
I want to, before I die, get in a helicopter and hunt pigs somewhere.
Okay.
I want to do that.
Yeah. That's I'm pretty sure there's places here in Florida. I know Florida, Texas. Mac knows more about this than anyone that I know. Mac.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's done a lot of hog hunting. You know, he's done a lot of hunting. I've only done pheasant hunting so far.
Man, the thing about hunting like that, when you're going after hogs, is it's one thing when you have a bolt action. It's a whole nother thing when you're like, could I do this with an AR? Which caliber do I use? Which Wildcat? Do I do uppers? Do I switch them? Do I not switch them? Do I do 25-45? Do I do 300 Whisper? Do I do 300 Blackout? Oh, we've got 300 Hammer coming over in from Wilson Combat. You know,
a lot of these Florida boys, I'll just tell you right now, a lot of these Florida boys, like Walther from Safety Harbor Firearms, he does it up close with a knife.
I have evolved. I don't need to do that. I don't have that level of I want to kill it with my hands.
Yeah.
I'll do that if it comes after me.
Right.
But I don't want to like walk into it and go, come at me, bro.
Have you ever done any shooting from a helicopter?
No, but I want
Oh, okay. This place is in Florida. I've done that. I just haven't done the hog hunting thing from a helicopter.
I'll probably have to go to Texas.
No, this place is here that do it. That could be arranged. So last question. Armin Axis wants to know what state you're in because he's like, Langley, Virginia. I don't know if you care to answer
I'm in
that.
the state of Georgia.
There you go. And the last name is where the Langley comes from.
Yeah, that's Virginia. Yeah, that's my CIA roots, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So listen, before we wrap up here, I want you to tell the folks out there if they want to communicate with you, follow you on social media and stuff like that, support what you do. How can they do it?
Get on over here to YouTube. It's a party over here. We talk about advocacy. We talk about rights. We talk about news. I would pull my hair out if I had any left, but it's a great time. We've got Langley Outdoors Academy. We've got Second Legacy. We got all the things. Something for the nearest 2A gun rights activist near you.
Absolutely. And Second Legacy with Military Arms Channel, Tim, Mac,
That's right.
however folks call him. That's something really cool. But I really enjoy what you do on the channel. Just, bringing the news and comparing it and all that kind of stuff. If folks out there have not seen that, I suggest they start looking at what you're doing out there. So you're doing good stuff, man. I think you're coming from a fresh perspective when you do things, and like how news hits and there's a lot of different things, but I like the perspectives and the pointers and stuff like that you make, man.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's much appreciated. Okay, I'm going to run in the end. We're going to come back, though, and you're going to give us words of wisdom. So get that prepped, and let me run the end in right now. Run the end in. Oh, no, the end didn't go in. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I got to run it myself here. Let's see if we can
do it. Do it, and let them see you do it.
Here we go. Oh, damn it. It's not running. Okay, whatever. Just pretend we ran in the end, which basically...
it was a great ending.
If you guys want to join us, I don't know what happened. Something weird happened here. I pressed the wrong button. We're gonna rip the audio out of this and throw it up on iTunes and all your favorite places to get your audio pack. I don't know why the hell that didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. But anyway, you can get the podcast on iTunes. We're part of Firearms Radio Network, and we're also on Audible. So words of wisdom, Braden, what you got?
Words of wisdom. Don't piss in the wind.
Okay.
Just don't do it.
Don't. Okay. Have you
just
done it recently? Is that why?
No, it's just in a good song. And don't mess around with Jim. That's all I keep in my head.
I'll take it. I appreciate it.
Brown, man. Just there it is.
There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. I think we're not going to be doing the show for the rest of the week. We'll see you guys back here next week. Thanks so much to Braden from Langley Outdoors Academy. See, I got it all right?
You nailed it. You, sir, are a professional.
Every once in a millennium, I get something right. Thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you. We'll see you guys. We're out of here. Let me hit the buttons. Stay right there, man. I got to hit the appropriate buttons here.
We got to hit the buttons, man.
Yeah, the buttons must be hit. Here we go.